being recorded.
Okay, greetings to Madam Jamila. Today we will present our research proposal, which is FOMO and new media identity crisis among UNIMA students. Our group consists of 6 members: Emery Ng, Danny Lee, Steve Iman, Iskandar, Adib Fahmi, and me myself, Anatasha. We will begin our presentation with the first presenter, Iskandar.
So for our topic is slide satu. FOMO slide satu. Slide satu. So for the introduction, the first one is the interaction and identity, which is social media revolutionized interaction and identity formation among UNIMA students. So for the FOMO impact, this examines fear of missing out, which is FOMO, and its effect on student well-being. So for the key platforms, we focuses on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok role in fostering FOMO and comparison. So for our research goals, the first one is we explore FOMO prevalence. Next, identity key platform associated with FOMO and analyze the relationship between social media, self-comparison, and identity. Next, I will pass it to the next presenter.
Okay, now I will talk about the problem statement. The first problem statement is this study is designed to explore the interplay between fear of missing out and new media identity crisis. The second problem statement is this study is designed to analyze the psychological impacts of social media, self-comparison, and identity formation among UNIMA students. Next. I will talk about the research objective. The first objective is to investigate the prevalence of FOMO among UNIMA students and identify the social media platforms most associated with this phenomenon. The second objective is to investigate how UNIMA students portray their identities on social media. Next, I will talk about a research question. The first research question is how prevalent is FOMO among UNIMA students and which social media platform contribute most to this phenomenon. The second research question is how do UNIMA students use social media to portray their identities? Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, Steve. Now I will go over the literature review that correlates with our research proposal. Moynihan investigated the intersection of social media influencer, FOMO, and identity crisis. With the rise of social media, influencer significantly shape followers' experience and perception. In other words, she argues that the idealized image presented by influencers sets unattainable standards, intensifying FOMO among viewers who feel excluded. This constant comparison to influencers' life can lead to identity crisis as individuals struggle to reconcile their authentic self with online personas. Next, Nora and Nikki Veronica investigate the relationship between fear of missing out, mindfulness, and social media usage among adolescents. They find a positive correlation between FOMO and social media usage, indicating higher FOMO leads to increased social media engagement. Ella Jude investigates the relationship between FOMO and life satisfaction influenced by social media. FOMO involves anxiety and persistent need for online connection due to the fear that others are having more fulfilling experiences. In her study, by using quantitative methods, she finds a significant negative correlation between FOMO and life satisfaction, showing that higher FOMO levels lead to reduced life satisfaction. Sutanto explored the relationship between fear of missing out and the psychological well-being of late adolescents who use social media. FOMO, common among adolescents, arises from exposure to peers' idealized online lives, leading to feelings of inadequacy and heightening anxiety. In their findings, reveal a significant negative correlation between FOMO and psychological well-being, indicating that higher levels of FOMO are associated with increased anxiety and decreased life satisfaction. Next, Tenton investigate the negative effects of social media-induced fear of missing out, focusing on behaviors such as social media stalking, comparison, and fatigue. In this research, they highlight that FOMO as driven by constant exposure to others' activities on social media, which cultivates a persistent need for connectivity and updates. The sixth one, Zunic delves into the intricate relationships between social media usage, self-esteem, FOMO, and delinquent behavior among adolescents. The study investigates how these factors contribute to heightened anxiety over missing out on rewarding experiences and subsequent engagement in delinquent behaviors. Zunic reveals that lower self-esteem is associated with increased FOMO, which is further intensified by extensive social media use. Adolescents experience high levels of FOMO are more inclined to engage in delinquent behaviors as a coping mechanism for their anxiety and dissatisfaction. The seventh one, Jabin investigated the interplay between social media-induced FOMO, social media fatigue, and the roles of narcissism, social comparison, and self-disclosure. Their study builds on existing literature by exploring how individual traits and behavior contribute to FOMO and subsequent fatigue in social media users. The research reveals several key findings. Firstly, individuals with higher level of narcissism are more prone to experience FOMO, driven by their need for attention and validation through extensive social media engagement. Secondly, frequent social comparison exacerbates FOMO as users often feel inadequate when comparing themselves unfavorably to the idealized life of others portrayed online. Interestingly, while the self-disclosure initially helps alleviate FOMO by enhancing connectivity, can also contribute to social media fatigue. Users may become exhausted from maintaining a favorable online image and managing the expectations associated with self-disclosure. Next, Gigaku explored the impact of passive following on Facebook and its association with FOMO, self-esteem, self-comparison, age, and life satisfaction. The research uncovers significant findings regarding passive following. It significantly heightens FOMO among users, which subsequently lowers self-esteem and life satisfaction. In this research, social comparison plays a crucial role in mediating these effects, highlighting how perceptions of others' social life influence individuals' perceptions and overall satisfaction with life. Age emerges as another critical factor, with younger individuals more prone to experience heightened levels of FOMO and engaging more frequently in social comparison. These factors contribute to lower life satisfaction among younger users compared to older counterparts. The second one last is safety. Investigate how FOMO affects adolescents' subjective well-being, with a focus on the mediating roles of self-comparison in loneliness. Through quantity surveys, the study reveals a significant association between higher levels of FOMO and lower subjective well-being among adolescents. This relationship is mediated by increased social comparison and feelings of loneliness. Adolescents experience FOMO tend to compare themselves more than with others, which leads to feelings of inadequacy and heightened loneliness, ultimately negatively impacting their overall well-being. Last but not least, Mir Yahya provide a comprehensive analysis of FOMO, addressing its prevalence, dynamic, and consequences, which fills a critical gap in the literature on its psychological impacts. Their findings highlight that FOMO is pervasive, especially among younger individuals and frequent social media users, driven by continuous exposure to others' curated experiences on digital platforms. The study identifies high level of FOMO as correlating with life, lower life satisfaction, increased feelings of loneliness, and heightened anxiety and depression. Therefore, these negative effects are partly mediated by maladaptive coping mechanisms such as compulsive social use and frequent social comparison. Next, I will pass this to the next presenter.
Thank you, Natasha. Next, I would like to talk about theoretical and conceptual framework. So social media has ingrained itself into everyday life in the digital age, especially for undergraduates. Social media sites such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter provide a window into the daily life of others, which helps people connect but also makes them compare. So FOMO has been identified as a major factor affecting the emergence of students' identities and sense of self at UNIMAS. Overindulging in social media due to FOMO can keep people from interacting with others in real life and developing sincere relationships. This diversion may impede the process of introspection and investigation, which is crucial for the formation of one's identity in the early stage of adulthood. So the FOMO phenomenon among UNIMA students can be explained by several theories. The first one is social comparison theory. Social comparison theory, which was put forth by psychologist Leon Festinger in 1954, postulates that people gauge their own social and personal value by comparing themselves to the other members of society. So students at UNIMAS regularly measure their life against the seemingly idealized online presentations of their peers in a practice known as social comparison. Social media scrutinizes everything, including personal experiences, social gatherings, and academic achievement alike. For instance, UNIMA students may experience feelings of isolation and FOMO when they see social media posts about get-together parties or trouble. And another theory that follows are social identity theory. Henry Touchfield and John Turner's social identity theory, which was developed in the 1970s, focuses on how people derive identity and self-esteem from their group memberships. This theory emphasizes the importance of roles, social interactions, and personal experiences in shaping one's identity. It highlights the importance of social categorizations, identification, and comparison in the formations of group identities. The fact that UNIMA students often belong to multiple social groups both online and offline, can be attributed to this theorem. To fit it into these groups, they might display different aspects of who they are. And that's all for me. Next, I would like to pass this presentation to the next presenter.
Thank you, Emily. Today, I'm going to talk about the methodology of the research that we use. The first thing is I'm going to talk about our research design. For the research design, we are using qualitative method, which means we have conducted a semi-structured in-depth interview to gain more about the information and idea related to the topic given. And stratified random sample of 30 undergraduates and postgraduate students at UNIMAS were our sample for the research. And second, I'm going to talk about ethical consideration, which is we have informed consent. And also, this research also conducted based on this research, we also focusing on ensuring confidentiality so that the data are not going to be shared with the third parties without the user's consent. And also, we also gain approval from UNIMAS Ethic Review Boards. And for the data analysis, thematic analysis of interview data are used in this research. And the use of qualitative data and analysis software are to help with our summarization of data so that it will be easy for us to mitigate uh, to 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 read the data after the research has been done. And also, we are focusing on fear of missing out and identity portrayal related to social media use among UNIMA students. Next slide, please. And also, for the population of the study, we are emphasizing on the population diversity, which is for the academic years, we took sample from the first year, second year students, third year, fourth year, and also the postgraduate. For the different faculty, we are taking samples from the Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Social Science and Humanities, Faculty of Education, Language and Communication, and also Faculty of Economic and Businesses. For the genders, we are taking sample from the male and female. And for the age groups, we are taking the sample of the age from 18 until 25 and above. For the protocol, we are really emphasizing on the anonymity, which is no private information will be disclosed to the third parties without the consent of the users. And also we are also ensuring participant right because they have the right for their privacy. And also, second protocol, which is voluntary participation. Participation must be voluntary and not forced. And also, it ensures reliability and authenticity of the informations. And for the last one, which is privacy and confidential, information must be remain private and confidential, and data were not shared with third parties without the consent of the user itself. Thank you, and I'll be passing this to the next presenter, which is Danny.
All right, thank you, Adib. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Daniel Suchin and my matrix number is at 6387. And today I am excited to present about our study on the themes of identity crisis and more among students at the University of Malaysia, Sarawak UNIMAS, regarding about the design of analysis. As being stated by Adi, to delve into this topic, we use a qualitative research method, especially through semi-structured interviews. So we conducted in-depth interviews with a diverse group of students from UNIMAS. The interviews were recorded either through audio or video to ensure that we capture every detail of the student responses. And this approach allows us to observe not only the content of the answers, but also non-verbal cues such as tone of voice and facial expressions, which can offer additional insights into their feelings or attitudes. Once the interviews were complete, we transcribed the recording and began the process of coding the data using the qualitative research software. We organized the information into several grouping sections based on common themes that emerged during the interviews. This non-statistical analysis approach enables us to identify patterns and correlations in the data without the constraints of numerical analysis. So our coding sheet included key demographic information such as academic year of student, gender, and age. So this helps us contextualize the responses and examine any trends related to these factors. So that is all for me. Thank you. I will pass this to the last presenter.
Next, for the expected result that we get from this FOMO, the first one is to reveal high levels of FOMO among UNIMA students, particularly linked to Instagram and Facebook. So this finding emphasizes how FOMO significantly affects student psychological that's lead to self-comparison that leads to identity formation among themselves. For the second one is to show how students curate fragmented online identities to fit various of social groups, leading to identity crisis and confusion. For this one, students may compare themselves with others and share personal information, creating online personas that differ from their self reveals. So for the last one is to shed light on the significant psychological and identity related to the challenges posed by social media use among UNIMA students. By exploring the prevalence and impact of FOMO and how students portrays their identities online. The research aims to contribute valuable knowledge to the fields of psychology, media studies, and education, and to inform effective strategies for supporting students in the digital age. So I think that's all from our group. So thank you.